President Donald J. Trump has won the election. He says that God saved his life so that he could save America. In his win, he managed to do something that we have not seen in at least more than a century. Getting the Senate, likely winning the House of Representatives. He holds the Supreme Court. He won almost all of the swing states, maybe all of them. And he grabbed the popular vote by a lot. Today, we'll tell you what Hollywood is saying, and the responses will shock you. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we, as ever, endeavor to explain entertainment. It is a historic day today. One of those kinds of days that you will remember for the rest of your life if you have any kind of historic sensibilities about you. It is not a normal time to be alive. So, folks, whether you were supporting the former and now again president, or if you were against him, take note. You are living in a special time. Hollywood is taking note, and the way that they are responding is vastly different than the way that we saw in 2016. Now, that is not to say that you will not see them come out with crazy hijinks in the next 24 to 48 hours. They may come out and claim that they are oppressed, or that the stake of humanity is now at risk, that perhaps, terrible things will befall everybody across the globe. Pestilence, they declare. Who knows? But for now, they're responding in a very different way, and that may be perhaps because they're recognizing this was a very big win. Folks, as we get ready to get started, click the like button. We're going to start with Mark Cuban. We're going to work our way through this. Folks, don't go anywhere, because the final one is the most important one, and you'll see why. And you'll see why it kind of bookends what we've been talking about on this channel now for months, even years. It's a special kind of confirmation. You'll see what we're talking about. Hang tight. Mark Cuban, who has been out there, the famous billionaire, making all kinds of crazy comments about Donald Trump, says, "Congrats, real Donald Trump. You won fair and square. Congrats to Elon Musk as well. Hashtag Godspeed." And when you see a mandate and a response from the American people such as what has happened, you can see why Mark Cuban wants to quickly pivot to where he thinks he will be best served. Jon Stewart, another celebrity. Here's what he has to say. This is out of The Hollywood Reporter by James Hibbard. Jon Stewart assures election night viewers, "I promise this is not the end." Because Jon Stewart and his ilk have been declaring that if Trump wins, it is the end. It's the end of life as we know it. Not even microbes will be able to survive on planet Earth. So now they have to walk that back. The Daily Show host gave some reassurance to his live election night viewers, as well as slammed pollsters and pundits. "You don't know blank about blank." Also, folks, please take note. They always knew the polls were wrong. At least that's my assessment. I don't know. Surely John knew it. They always knew the polls were wrong. They were using them. As I told you, they were always being used. By the way, kudos to Rasmussen, to Atlas Intel, to Trafalgar. They got it right. Doesn't matter if Disney kicked them out of their clubs. They got it right. They were the right ones. Jon Stewart closed his live election night coverage late Tuesday by giving some reassurance to despondent Daily Show viewers. The host emphasized that the presidential election results were still coming in, and nothing was yet decided. But given that vote tallies were suggesting a Donald Trump victory at the midnight hour, Stewart had some thoughts. "This isn't the end," he said. And remember, this is supposed to be a comedy show. "I promise you, this is not the end. We have to regroup, and we have to continue to fight and continue to work day in and day out to create a better society for our children, for this world, for this country that we know is possible. It's possible. We're going to come out of this election and we're going to make all kinds of pronouncements about what this country is and what this world is. And the truth is, we're not really going to know blank. We're going to make it seem like this is the finality of our civilization. We're all going to have to wake up tomorrow and work like blank to move the world to the place that we prefer it to be." It's a lot of just stuff. All right, so let's go to a Z tier. Alysa Marquez reposted this. This is how Alysa Marquez, who is a games journalist, she's the head of Kocho, editor over there. She retweets something by Nathan Grayson that says, "Turns out when we let a whole bunch of billionaires control the platforms we increasingly exclusively use as our means of communication, in an already deeply blankest country, one where many people do not closely follow politics and kind of just dip in and out, bad things happen. So Alysa not handling this well and taking a swipe at Elon. Cardi B says we need a Hail Mary. But that's not so bad in comparison to some of the stuff that was coming out back in 2016. You're going to see this, by the way. Scott Adams, famous cartoonist who does the Dilbert stuff, says podcasters and X for the win. The fake news can't brainwash the majority anymore. And, well, scrolling down, do not forget Peanut. Oh, Peanut. Peanut will be avenged. Grace Randolph, the movie analyst who does movie math beyond the trailer, she says $1 billion blanking dollars down the drain, talking about the money that was spent on Harris. She says, and I'll be honest, I don't think a lot of these votes are for Trump. I think they're for the Republican Party and against the Democrats. Well, sorry, Grace, but Trump and the Republican Party are pretty much inseparably interlinked now. So she says, I got to say, I'm managing to be pretty civil and fair tonight. So if some of you could tone down the blank, face grinning replies, it'd be appreciated. I understand wanting to celebrate, but this would be a great opportunity to prove you're not the negative stereotype. And in the spirit of fairness, I will concede that it was correct that to choose a candidate not by primary was a mistake. I feel sorry for Grace because she didn't see this coming. Neither did many of the celebrities out there of a particular bubble where they live. But I feel sorry for Grace, and I'm happy that this might be a moment where she can get out of that bubble. It's no fun for people to live in a world of cognitive dissonance where they don't know what's going to happen. If you watch this channel, well, you're not shocked at all by what happened. And if you watched many of the other channels out there, including Valiant Renegade, That Park Place, and others, this is no shock to you. You were well prepared for it. The Critical Drinker, famous YouTuber, says 2024 will go down as the year when Hollywood lost its last shred of cultural influence. Seems to be true. It doesn't appear that the Hollywood elites had any impact on this whatsoever. In fact, they may have been detrimental to Harris' campaign. Cousin Eddie himself, Randy Quaid, says, call it. He wanted that election called much earlier. We've also got some great stuff from some celebrities. For example, the Hollywood Reporter says that Chris Pratt is declaring that Americans need to support each other despite the presidential election result. He says, how do we become a nation of honorable winners and graceful losers? It starts with remembering no matter who wins or loses, there are still going to be people who need help in this country. Kudos to Chris Pratt. What a nice thing to say. He believes that despite the results of the 2024 presidential election, Americans need to support each other. He says, like so many of us, I've been doom scrolling my way through this election season, and I see things from both sides. I understand that people's lives and rights are on the line. I also see that there are millions of people who feel overlooked and invisible to our government and are desperate for something to change. Kudos to you, Chris Pratt. You're the sensible version of Marvel. They could use more of you, Chris Pratt. Isn't that nice? Isn't that wonderful to see a celebrity with common sense? And then there is perhaps the king of the media, the biggest kahuna out there when it comes to everything, news now. The biggest celebrity on this little blue marble we call Earth, Elon Musk. He is the kingmaker. He is the guy who came in, took over X at great risk, and managed to turn it into the biggest news platform on the planet. He did it. I don't know what its value is going to be, but I can tell you it's going to skyrocket now. Never bet against Elon Musk. And Elon Musk, this is the final one, declares to you, to me, to everyone, you are the media now. It cannot be overstated how historic and how earth-shattering what happened last night is. Donald Trump winning in the way he did is something, again, we haven't seen in a century. It is a backlash against the intelligentsias. It is a backlash against the gatekeepers, the so-called elites, who told you what movies to see, what narratives to believe, what news you should listen to, what things that were obvious you should ignore, and who was and was not allowed to be starring in your favorite stuff. They're the ones who tell you what will be inserted into your games, what values you must adhere to. Their era will be fading out now, and your era begins. Whether you are a Trump supporter or not, your era begins. Because now, the power, the future, is in your hands. And that is the video for today. Folks, we'll have more coverage of this, including the ramifications for Disney, on the way. Apologies if we're a little bit late or if in this video I'm a little bit less articulate than usual. At the time of recording, it's about 3:15 in the morning. Got to get this thing ready to roll out, and other stuff as well. The news never stops, and neither do we. Folks, click the like button, share, subscribe, click it and stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And folks, share this out on your favorite social media platforms, which all of them may be more conducive to allowing you to spread your opinions very soon, maybe even now. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and more than ever, keep having fun.
Clickbait, fraud, drama queen. Ugh, I wish there was a channel that was 5 to 6 minute news reads without the drama, frauds, and clickbait that could accurately let me know the current news, providing my crucial context utilizing all the different That Park Place contributors and creators.
Well, stupid, there is. It's the That Park Place YouTube channel, which will be going live real soon, so make sure you're subscribed, so you can really stick it to the algorithms.
You're joking.
Nope.